Hi, and good morning, everyone. My name is Carly Bell, and I love to do machine embroidery tutorials. And today we are almost finished the sew along that we have been working on since right before Thanksgiving. And that is the Kimberbell Candy Cane Lane Bench Pillow. This is what the finished pillow looks like. And we're gonna almost get here today, which I'm super duper excited about. So I hope everyone's having a great morning. And I was just watching my friend Blaine Austin. He started his new live show today, and it started 30 minutes ago. So I was like watching up right until I had to turn my camera on. But I'm gonna go finish watching it when our sew along class is over today. But I'm so excited for him and the new company he's working with called Stitch It International. So be sure to go check it out and subscribe. His lives, I think, are going to be from now on around 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. Yeah, Linda's watching both. I wish I could watch both at the same time. I can't do that. So I'll go watch the replay. So yeah, I saw a bunch of friends in the chat on the Stitch It Live show. So I don't blame you if you're going to watch him. Y'all could come watch the replay for this later too. All right, so today, so excited, we are going to be finally, I'm gonna try to hold this like a deck of cards. Let's see if we can do it. Piecing together all the beautiful blocks that we have made over the past few weeks. I'm so excited about it. And putting our pillow together. Now, last class was on Monday, and we went over how to make the borders. So our homework was to finish quilting all the borders, and I finished that this morning too, because y'all know I'm always last minute. So we're going to figure all of this out today. I was looking ahead at the instructions. I also was looking at some past other sew alongs like that Kim and Kristen Creates has done when this pillow first came out like 4 years ago, and looking for tips and things that they would suggest for us. So in my head originally, because this has been my experience with the wall hangings, is that we sew everything together and then embellishments are absolutely last. This is my first bench pillow I'm actually completing because I never finished Main Street Celebrations, but I will now. Is that maybe we don't wait to do the embellishments last. Maybe we add some embellishments first. So I'm in my head right now, what I'm thinking is there are the eyelet holes for all of these blocks we need to punch. And there are a few different ways that you could punch the holes in those eyelets. You see, like right here. That's where the fairy lights are going to go through. And you can use an awl. You can use the pointy end of your scissors or tweezers. But I just so happen to have a cam snap press. And I have a 2.5 millimeter hole punch on this sucker. And I was testing it with a little piece of quilted material that I had and checking to make sure that the hole would work. So I was looking at the hole I made in my material versus my eyelet, and I think it's going to be perfect so that I could punch holes in all these eyelets without touching the satin stitching of the eyelet. So I'm thinking let's punch the holes first, then piece the blocks together. Once we have the blocks pieced together, then we will after the blocks are pieced together, then we do the snowdrift. And then we do the inner border and the outer border, and then we might have to trim the edges. And then we'll have our whole quilt front. And I think then we should do embellishments. So we might mix up today's class and tomorrow's class with maybe not adding the back of the pillow until tomorrow, and maybe start the get through everything I said just now, and start the embellishments, get the fairy lights, start sewing buttons, and then it's probably going to take me forever to hand sew all those buttons. So then that'll be our homework tonight. And then tomorrow, do the backing. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So let's go ahead and get started. For any of our friends that are new and joining, welcome. This is class number 10. Am I remembering right? For this sew along series, and they're all recorded so that you can go back and watch the replays anytime. I have a playlist and I have a homepage for this sew along on my website, carlybell.com. There we go. And it should be the first link you see in the description box below. Will take you to the homepage for Candy Cane Lane. Show you where I got everything for this project, including links to even silly little tools that I use, which now I'm realizing I'll go add this because I have a deal for this that Cam Snaps gave me a coupon code and I made a bundle of like all the things that I own and use as an embroiderer. And she put it all in a bundle for me and gave a discount on the bundle. And then she gave me a discount code on top of that to share with everyone. So I need to remember to go add that to the Candy Cane Lane homepage. So in case you are interested, this is a great thing to put on your Christmas list. I love my snap press. I bought it like 4 years ago around Black Friday. And then I've kind of added on little things over the years because it's a nice system that's very interchangeable. All right. So what I said we're doing first, we're punching holes first. So let's see if we can do that. So let me I have my blocks. I can't make them all fit. I'm still having trouble with my brand new camera, which I'm not happy about, but I can't zoom in and out anymore. It's not working, but the other buttons work. So it's not the remote needs new batteries. It's just the zoom button doesn't want to work. So I have to play with that another day. But these are all our blocks. So this is all the way to the right. If we're working from left to right, this is our last block. Then the tan house, then the blue house, Christmas tree, red, cocoa stand, and then our first light post. Now on the light post, there are 2 eyelets right in the middle of the lamp. So I'm going to very carefully line my hole punch and press it. And then yes, that works beautifully. I don't know if you can see. It's not going to focus. But now I got a nice little hole right there. That is perfect. Another tip that I saw is after you, I know I have some somewhere, but after we punch the hole on the inside of the block, we can put some fray check right here if you want, to keep some strings and such from going through or undoing. Oh, I got a jump stitch here I need to cut too. Let's see. I currently know the location of all of my tweezers and scissors, so it's going to be a good day. And I might have to try to get this out later because now there's just like a black spot from where that jump stitch was. Get it from behind. No, I might just not worry about that. But okay, I got one hole punched there. Let me do the second. I believe there are 40 holes total, and that is exactly how many fairy lights we have. So we're going to use all 40 fairy lights. Okay, you could kind of see the holes there by my fingers. So that's the only ones on the lamppost. So put that aside. Now let's do hot cocoa. All these little yellow rings need to be punched. I probably should have started this while I was watching Blaine. I made sure to clean out my hole punch before I started as well because it was jammed full of past things I punched holes in. They have like a little exit area within the punch where the things come out when it's done, and that was like jam full. So if your punch is not working great, probably because you need to clean it out, because all of these little pieces that you punched end up going in there sometimes. All right, yay. Oh, I missed one. No, I didn't miss one. I just need to take the bit out. And these holes are extra fluffy because we got batting in them. All right, so we got all the holes punched for the hot cocoa stand. Now on the red house, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and then 6, 7, 8. They got some above the door and right on the eaves of the roof. But yeah, I figured it would be easiest to punch these holes before we even put this together. Yeah, this definitely would have not been fun to do once it was all put together, because you only have so much kind of throat space within the handle, and the blocks are a good size to get in there easily. Okay, so this one's done. All right. Now the trees, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think, eyelets that are in the tree where the lights are going to shine through. Oh, I got one up here too. Yeah, just keep overlooking where you're going. Make sure you don't miss any. Linda, you talking about the not the press, or you still watching Blaine? What machine is he showing now? Oh, it's probably the SWF. So Blaine now works for Stitch It International, which we were familiar with before because they are the distributor for the SWF multi-needle embroidery machines. And he tried to get me to get an SWF the whole time he was at Sewing Machines Plus, because he doesn't, I have a Ricoma and he doesn't like my Ricoma. He kept telling me, get rid of the Ricoma. So now that he actually works for Stitch It International, now he's really getting on me. Like, I need to sell my Ricoma and get an SWF instead. And he's almost got me talked into it. I was thinking about selling my Ricoma anyway, because I don't use it. I guess I'm not. My 6 needle, I tend to use more. But it's not often I'm doing. When I do have a project where I need 10 thread colors, then I'll set it up. But most of the time I can get away with using my 6 needle. So I don't know if I really need a 12 needle like he's trying to get me to get. Okay, this is the Christmas tree, all the holes punched. Yes, the hole punch works with the snaps too. So like, this is my little, I got a bunch of these little tackle boxes. And so let me turn it on the side. It screws these pieces. So this is the hole punch. See, it's already getting full of stuff. But they have like a little hole right here where you can, everything can kind of get out after you've punched your hole. And on this tight little one, it gets jammed up some, but the bigger ones, it's not a problem. So then I have bigger hole punches. So this one has a big hole. They come in different sizes. So I don't even know what size this is. Maybe a 7mm punch, so you could see the hole at the bottom. I usually keep them in the bags. Yeah, this is 7mm. Let me put this back in the bag so I don't mix up which one it is. They come in all these nice little labeled bags. I got 10mm, 5mm, 12mm, 4mm, and then 2.5. Then this is the bits for the snaps. This right here. So the bottom piece just comes in and out. It just has a little peg. So this is the bottom piece for all the hole punches. Same bottom piece. This is the bottom piece for the snaps. This is the top piece for the snap. So it will press the snaps closed. I also have pieces for the top and bottom for grommets or eyelets and for rivets. And they all are based on the size. So they got 5mm grommets, 10mm. This is 6mm rivets. So you could kind of build yourself a system of whatever you want to use. And you can, this one's a universal one for size 20 snaps. They also have some, if you want to do metal snaps, they have a die for that. So that's what we're calling these pieces that screw in to the top and then the matching bottom piece. Those are called dies. And you just need a die to correspond to whatever it is you want to make, whether it's snaps, rivets, eyelets / grommets. And they even have a special piece to flatten the key fob hardware. But the bundle I put together is all the things that I use, which is the snaps, the little eyelets, and the key fob press. I'll go put a link for that after so you can see it on your computer. Yes, I have a link. I gotta go find it. Okay, because yeah, I decided to do this, 5 minutes ago. Use this. So it wasn't ready to show y'all. All right, so we're on the blue house now, and they have eyelets in the house along the roof, but not where the snow is. Okay. Okay, I think that's all of them. And the red house is just under the roof. I only got a few left. All right, that's it for that house. And now the last two lanterns are just like the first one. I think I'm most excited about the fairy lights. Okay, let me clean up my mess. Oh, I'm gonna bust out my little vacuum cleaner. That'd be the easiest thing. All done. Put on my little hole punches. All right, now I can get this press out the way, and let me go look real quick. I think I know right where on my computer I have a link to this bundle. Let me go copy it real quick and I'll paste it in the chat for y'all. Okay, here it is. Copy, paste, and then it should go to both YouTube and Facebook. And then the coupon code, I think, let me double check that. Is okay, Carly Bell 15. Coupon, oh, spell coupon right, Carly. Coupon code Carly Bell 15. And that gets you another 15% off. Okay. So that is the info about the Snap press. And that's with the bundle that I recommend getting. But you could also just go and individually buy what pieces you want. I think the coupon code, though, only works on the bundle, unfortunately. All right, so we got all our pieces. Now I think, now we just, let's go and piece all this together. So I'm going to stack this in the right order. And what we're going to do is right sides together. I don't think I'm going to pin anything. And so with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then once that is pinned, I'll open it. I mean, once that is sewn, I'll open it up right there at the machine and do right sides together here. And then we can wait and press everything when it's all put together. So let's bring all my pieces, got my borders. Go ahead and turn my iron on so that it can warm up. And I'm thinking, should I leave the foot I have on there now, or should I use my move it foot? I might use my move it foot since we're getting into thicker territory as far as stitching goes. So I still got my embroidery foot on here, so I need to take that off. I changed my bobbin already. Okay. So this is my typical 1/4 inch piecing foot. You can use this. You can use a regular foot. I do have this fancy foot, so I might as well use it. And oh, good news. I contacted World Winder, and they do have an affiliate program, which means I can I have a referral link now to work for them. And this is where I got these things. So this is a special move it foot. This is going to come with the Stellaire XJ2. I think if you had the Stellaire XJ1, if you have the baby lock versions like the Altair, Altair 2, Solaris, Radiance, Luminaire, for back to brother, any of those big machines, this is like a fancy walking foot or dual feed, also called a move it foot. So this goes on just like any other foot, but it plugs in the back. Did my camera go off? No. Okay. I heard a noise. It plugs in the back just like the embroidery foot does on this machine. But, okay, when it came with the machine, it came with this regular foot attachment. But my friend Marina told me at World Winder, they have specialty attachments that you can get for this. And this one is the 1/4 inch. And this one is like stitch in the ditch. So these are super helpful. So I'm going to take this one off. and just put this one on. And I remember when she told me about it, I'm like, I don't think this piece comes off. And then I play with it. I'm like, oh yeah, sure does. Comes off. So if you, like me, did not know it comes off, it does very easily. And then you snap the new one on. Okay. And then it goes on just like any other foot. And then except this one, it actually plugs in the back, just like my embroidery foot. Okie dokie. I am doing am I doing a straight? Let's see, where do I need my needle to be? Let me get my tiny ruler. No, I need my thing to be in the middle. And then that's a 1/4 inch. Yeah. Okay. So I got my needle in the middle. That makes my 1/4 inch work correctly. And there is my lamppost 1. There's my hot cocoa stand. I'm going to do a locking or back stitch at the beginning of and end of each run. And maybe I'll be good and just do a couple clips to make sure I stay where I'm supposed to. Okay, once I have it where I want, I didn't do. I didn't have it set up to automatically lock. Okay. And what happens is you end up stitching right on the line we can see in our batting on our back of our stabilizer here of where our batting placement stitch was. It's basically where you end up stitching. All right, get to the end, lock and cut. Okay. All right, so now we have this. That came out nice. Yay. All right, I'm getting better at this. Okay, now we do hot cocoa to red house. Okay. This foot works really well, especially when we start doing thicker things. I think I've also used it for basic piecing as well, but definitely for the thicker things. Lock. All right. Now the Christmas tree. This one's been, let me go press that real quick. Yeah, Trish says the dual feed foot came with her Stellaire. Yeah, it's a really nice foot to have. And I never messed with it until Marina talked me into it. It kind of scared me a little bit, especially for being someone new to sewing. That scared me a bit, but now I love it. Okay, so oh wait, I'm just supposed to do this. I'm about to start a bigger sewing project too. I'm just going to try to help my dad. So my friends that sew and maybe have bigger machines like my Juki, I have a TL 2010. I was researching this morning. My dad has asked for my help. One of the awnings on his boat has a tear in it. And he asked me if I had a sewing machine strong enough to do something heavy duty like that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure my Juki, it's semi-industrial. I said, I'm pretty sure it could handle it. I just don't know what's the thickest, strongest thread I could use on that machine. Because I remember talking to the ladies at Wizardry Stitchery that I met a few times at different shows like Everything Embroidery Market and Applique Getaway. I remember talking to them because I had never even heard of Tex nylon bonded thread before. I learned they had that at their booth, and I learned a little bit about it. And they were talking about, you can only use so much on your machine. Your machine can only handle so much. So I had bought like a Tex 35 thread, which after doing more research this morning, I learned is pretty much the same as 40 weight embroidery thread. But the Juki can handle Tex 70 thread, which, if I remember right, is like almost equivalent to 20 weight thread. Like if we're always talking about thread weight with an embroidery and with, I guess, regular quilting sewing, the Tex 70 is equivalent to 20 weight. So that's the thickest I could use on that Juki. So I'm going to buy some for my dad and help him close that awning. So I'll let y'all know how that goes. All right. So we're getting somewhere. Look how cute. Oops. You stay up there. I got to watch. So as this is getting longer, because I still have my embroidery arm on my machine, it's getting caught up on the little lever that we lock our hoop down. So you just got to be mindful of that if you're still sewing with your embroidery arm on. I hardly ever take it off. I took it off, I think, when we were ready to do Stitch in the Ditch on the big quilt. Like then I was like, okay, it's worth taking off now. But normally I just leave it on for all my sewing projects. Unless I know I got something big and intense coming. All right, last one. All right, now we are done piecing all the blocks together. Let's go look at how pretty it is. Okay, so still need to press the seams, but yay, look how cute that is. Super cute. I love this. So cute. All right, so now we're going to press all these seams. I think I'm just going to press them open, not to a particular side since they're kind of thick. And we definitely, I'll be doing it with the, piece down, obviously, but be mindful of all these specialty things that we got going on, especially the clear vinyl on the windows. I think that's the only thing we really got to watch out for when we're pressing. Okay, add my iron. I'm gonna get my quilt clapper out too. So when I was watching Blaine, I learned I didn't know Angela Wolf had her own quilt clapper, and she made a mini one that fits in the embroidery hoop. So like when we're doing in the hoop projects or even piecing in the hoop, that would be helpful. So I think I'm gonna order me one of those. Okay, there's one. I love how well the steam works on this new little mini iron because the steam does not work well at all on my work. Probably because it's so old. And I didn't have steam at all on the Cricut mini iron, mini press. That one has no steam option. So I am happy to have it. Careful, it's dangerous. Let's see. Star says she has one of Angela's clappers and she signed it for me. That's nice. Yeah, I heard her talking about signing it. I might have to ask that too because they said you have to call in to order it, I think. And I think you can request that. That would be fun. All right, just a couple left. Hi, Patricia. How you been, girl? Hope y'all are all doing good today. And I hope you were done with your Christmas shopping because you know what I did yesterday. I had a bit of panic, last minute Christmas shopping. So the girls each had doctor's appointments yesterday morning, and I finally took them to get their flu shot that I was supposed to do since like October. But hey, we got it done. And what I was going to say. Oh, so they were both trying to convince me not to bring them back to school after the appointments were over. And I was like, no, y'all need to go to school. And then I went and ran to the mall and did a bit of panic buying. So that was fun. But I'm feeling better about actually being ready. Now I have to go and wrap all the things. And I got to get a good few of them done before Saturday because we're having, did I do this one? We're having my dad's side of the family Christmas party on Saturday. The High Creative Collective DIY. The schools are closing. You get to enjoy your day, doing catch up. You got all your homework done. Great job. Elsa says, I want to get the thread spool holder. I didn't know what they were for. What I want to know what it is. Tell me. Oh, Joanna, poor thing. Both of your arms ache. Yeah, Lisa's still saying her arm hurt a little bit last night. But they were both, Abigail was a champ. She was like, yeah, Abigail was the one was like, shouldn't we get our flu shot while we're here? And I was like, you're asking for a shot? Okay. And then Elise, of course, freaked out. And then Abby was the good big sister and like, I'll go first, Elise, and I'll show you it doesn't even hurt. So she was so sweet. But then, of course, we went to Target last night before piano lessons. And she's like, I should get a toy for being so good with my shot this morning. I'm like, okay. All right. So y'all see all pieced. Okay. So now I will measure this because I don't think it's that big of a deal right now, but let's look at this. So here is the top. Here is my border. And what I'll probably do is sew it like this with a lip here and then sew it to the end. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no. My border is not long enough. I thought it was. It's not long enough. Poopy. I thought I cut these to be like way longer than needed. Look, I'm like 2 little pieces shy of being long enough. Oh, that sucks. I guess I can go float that real quick and try to get some more on there. Okay, let's see about this one. This one needs it too. All right, well, I need to go do that first now. Let me double check my big borders. My big borders are pretty much perfect. I got enough to have like a little tiny bit of overhang on either end. Okay, so big borders are okay. All right, it's my tiny borders. I did not make it long enough. Okay, so let's troubleshoot that. Put this on the side and see how we can do this. I'm thinking just 5x7 hoop, even 4x4 hoop. Let's see. 4x4. And basically, yeah, we're just going to add a little bit more to it. And I got a bunch of leftover stabilizer. Let's see if we got any that is big enough for this hoop. I thought I had one piece that was on the larger side. This one, but it's still not quite big enough. Okay, so let me sew these 2 pieces together. That'll give me a big enough piece for stabilizer. Do this real quick on my Juki. It's right behind me. Okay, there we go. Put these two pieces together so that I can make a new stabilizer. All right, and now we got to go in Brilliance and make the design. Okay, let's show y'all this. Okay, so we're in Brilliance. I still had up my old stuff pulled up. Let's find the design border, block by block, PES. Okay, the shortest one is 7 inches. So let's open that one. And this is what I'm going to do. Oh, let's play. Yeah, we can have, let's see what we can do with this, because it's not going to fit in this hoop, but I only need to do a small bit. So one cool feature I haven't played with in a long time is an enthusiast feature that I can use to just cut that. And it's okay that I don't have a line at the bottom. So I really only need, let me measure, like 1.5 inches. So let me zoom in, and I'm gonna use my grid as a guide, right? So 4 of these blocks is 1 inch. So I'm gonna put this guy right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need a cut right here across. So I'm gonna go to my stitch edit button. I think I'm doing this right. And I am going to use my grab tool. So instead of doing the lasso, I'm gonna do the square. So I got a straight line. I can see needle points right where that line is. So I'm gonna just draw right below it. Nope, that's the wrong one. What I said, right here, this line. I gotta select it again. Okay, don't lose my spot again. All right, right there. Oh, why are you moving? Okay, that didn't work. Did it? Oh, it did. It did. I'm messing myself up because the screen moved. Oh, I lost it. I'm gonna get this. All right. There's my 4. There's my 2. I'm starting right here. And I'm just gonna stop right there. So I'm gonna select those. And I think I can press this button and split it into a new design. Split. No, maybe that's not what I wanted, because yeah. This is still, no, maybe not. Okay, let's undo. And I need it to be where I could select the whole thing, so I got to zoom out. Let's see. Let me zoom in on selected. Press S. Oh, but it's because I have such a small hoop, it won't let me it won't let me scroll down more. Let me go in a 5x7 hoop just so I can get this how I want. And then copy and paste my little section into a 4x4 hoop. Because what's going to happen is if I go and put this on the 4x4, I'm pretty sure once I put that hoop on my machine, it's going to say this design is too big for this hoop. So I really just want to get what I want out of it. So let me make sure Okay, it's lined up right on this top line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the line I want to cut. I think I can grab, you see this thing right here? I just kind of clicked right up here, and that's a guideline. And that can help remind me where I'm trying to cut. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where I want to cut. And now I can see that line a little bit better. It's still a little hard to see. And now I'm going to back up. So there's my guideline. Let's hopefully it stays. Okay, select my square. Try to click there. Okay, so I got those selected. So one thing I could do is just hit delete. There we go. Now let's zoom in on what I got here. That should work. Even if it sews off my fabric a little bit. And then I really remember we don't need this line or this line. I just need my placement, tack down, and design. Okay, so now I have what I want. And now I'll change my hoop to a 4x4. And if I wanted, I could go and delete just those little pieces right there by using the stitch edit tool. You could select any, I could just select them and hit delete on my keyboard. Delete, delete, delete. Or you can try to select them all at a time. But it's really cool with enthusiasts, like the level of control that you can have. All right, go back to select tool. So I have this, I got the 3 steps. Let me select it, copy, paste. Bring that over here. Let me align them because I like doing that. Okay, they're aligned. Okay, and now color sort. Utility color sort. New view. Okay, so now I have the placement stitch for both tack down thing. Okay, so let's see if we can actually make this work. I gotta put my embroidery stuff back on. So we're just gonna get however far we can get today, and then we'll finish tomorrow. All right, so I need to save stitch file as I'm just going to name this mini inner border because it's barely anything. Okay, and save and eject my USB stick. And now we'll go back to the machine and fix the end of this border before we sew it. Okay. And luckily this is a quick process, but I just need to remove my sewing foot, change back to my embroidery bobbin, and plug in my USB. Home, embroidery, okay. Oh wait, I never put the embroidery foot. So that guy, screw that guy in, not sew him, screw. Put my plate cover. Okay, now we can do this. USB. Pick my folder, pick my little mini design, set, embroider. Okay, I got white thread on. That is good. Let's go. What does it do? A jump? Yeah. That's just a little guide box showing me where to put my fabric. I don't even know if glue will do much good. I'm going to tape this down well. All right, so I got the edge of my border. It's just really a little square, a little tiny square. And I am going to place this right there. Now this strip is longer than this one for some reason. So that's why it looks like I could do more on here, but I only need like a tiny bit more. And I'm doing the longest I could do on this bit. Okay, and now okay. So that is right where it should be. And now we'll do the tack down. Okay. Now we can switch back to the metallic thread and get those couple little pieces left. All right, fingers crossed this works. Like I'm hoping it will. Yeah. I was just doing some crazy stitching there because I couldn't cut it just right. I'm thinking I can cut this jump stitch too. Yeah. Yeah. We got the end of that done. Phew. I was nervous there for a second. So now where it left off before, right below this tape was all empty. I got it to go to the end this one. And hopefully now it will be long enough for my pillow. Okay, so we added on a little bit there. Okay. Oops. All right, now let's check and see. Where's my pillow top? Over here. Okay, again, sorry, I can't back the camera up enough for you to see the whole thing, but I am gonna clip, I'm gonna clip this guy right on the edge. I ain't gonna try to overlap it some. Actually, let me do it this way just to see if it works. So I'm clipping that edge there and just laying it across. To make sure. Yay, now I got a little bit of overhang. So that helped me. All right, so we figured that problem out. Now we'll put this on the right way. So I saw I had a tiny bit, so I'm gonna have a little overhang on either side and then I'll square it when I'm done. But now we'll put it right sides together and clip along the whole thing. And we'll do that for the top and the bottom. And then we'll go change the machine back over to sewing and do this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance down the whole thing. Yeah, Linda, I'm glad I could fix it. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. It's going to end right where it left off. And I got a tiny little bit of overhang on either side. So that was the top. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing with the other one. Oh, wait, I'm moving on too quickly. Good thing this was messed up because I'm supposed to do the snowdrift. So we don't want that one on yet. Okay. We want the snowdrift on before we add this border. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the top alone. I got the top clipped in place. That's fine. But now let's focus on the snowdrift. Okay, yes. See, everything happens for a reason. And this came with the embellishment kit. And remember, I showed you at the end of the instructions, because I know this kit was very hard to find. At the end of the PDF instructions, let me go. When you scroll all the way to the end, they have this page. You can print this page, cut out all 4 of these, then tape them together to make you one long paper pattern piece. And then you can use any material you want to cut out this long snowdrift so that you end up having a long piece like this. You can use glitter HTV if you have it. You can use white quilting cotton. I would interface the back and add heat and bond light. So I would add, if I was just using plain old white cotton, I would first iron the Pellon SF 101 on the back. Then I would go and iron heat and bond light on the back to make it fusible. And then trim your pattern piece. And you will have it to be able to lay out across the whole bottom, and you will be able to fuse it in place. Another thing you can use that would be fun is fleece. I don't know how fleece handles heat, though. If you can put heat and bond light on the back, then you would have to pin it in place and then do the sewing along the top. So we're still going to do the sewing along the top. All right, so I need my iron on and my ironing mat. And I believe this piece is longer than what we need. Oh, yay, Elsa's using felt. That's a great idea for her snowdrift. I am going to, I think this piece is longer than what I need. Yeah, it's like this much longer. So I'm gonna have a little overhang on. Now I think I'll just start flat on one side. That makes life easier. So I'm gonna start right here. And now this is heat transfer vinyl. This is something we used for a lot of applique pieces. Personally, when I've used heat transfer vinyl, not to do with sewing, but to actually like iron onto a shirt, I leave the clear carrier sheet on top. And then once it's pressed, then I go peel the clear carrier sheet off and then press it again. Let me check. That's how typically heat transfer vinyl is used. When we were doing the applique, we removed the clear carrier sheet before we sewed it in spot, and then we pressed it. Let me see if they recommend how they recommend this. Align the bottom edge. Let's see. Of the drifting snow glitter with the edge of the sewn together blocks. The pre-cut drifting snow will be longer than the sewn blocks. Align the left and bottom edges of the glitter to the sewn block. The glitter will cover the bottom of each house. Press the glitter with a warm iron using a pressing cloth. Do not touch the iron to the vinyl windows. Trim excess glitter on the right side. Top stitch along the edge. So they don't say anything about pulling off the carrier sheet. So I'm going to do it like I usually use this, and I'm going to leave it because it's a little bit harder to work with when it's off, especially for being such a long piece with everything staying nice and stiff and not bunching up. So I'm going to align these two corners, and we can work in sections. So like what we can do is I'll just do the width. This is my mat here. I'll just work in sections like this. And what I'll do is I'll go and remove the clips. Like I'll do this little section and this. And then let's see. I have a whole bunch. So you can use a pressing cloth. You could use parchment paper. Or if you have a heat press and have a Teflon sheet. I used to have a piece of parchment paper here somewhere. Of course, I've lost. I have these sheets. These are weird because they're like a mixture of parchment paper and they're Teflon sheets, but they're like paper. So this came with my heat press. I'm going to use this. Okay. So I'm going to go and just get right in between those two clips. Let's see. And then once let's see how that works. You can see it didn't really do good there. And put some pressure on it. Thanks, Dee. Hope you have a great day too. Okay. Normally with glitter heat transfer vinyl on a heat press, you're pressing it for 15 seconds at 320 degrees, if my memory serves me right. So it's kind of the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And we can check and see if it's good by trying to lift that carrier sheet and see if it comes up without taking the glitter off. So I can do that. Maybe, I think that's about where I stopped. And then I'll press it again. So let's just work in sections and get this on there. Okay, that feels good. All right, so now I will take this one off and work here. Again, we want to mind those vinyls, windows. What setting is my iron on? Oh, it's not all the way hot. Thanks for saying something. Abigail was playing with this last night. Okay, I put it on the hottest setting. You know what I really want to get? I probably don't need it, but I just want it. I want a heat gun that you can read the temperature. So like you can really see how hot your iron is, or if your heat press is as hot as you have it set to be. Okay, I can see it goes kind of here. There we go. So I'm just pressing. Okay, so we got all of this is done and it's not coming off. I pulled the carrier sheet off. The carrier sheet ends. I cut it right here. So all of this is pressed and on there good. Okay, so let's move on down. So I'll go here now. Okay, pressed. No. Good still. Okay, I can see it coming off there. And then press some more. Okay, that's all on there. Good. Just work our way down. Yeah, it's looking really cute. It's so pretty. And now the bottom part of this snowdrift is going to get into the seam allowance a little bit when we put the border. And then we have to use our sewing machine. This will be a real test for me. We need to top stitch. It's hot. Along this with the sewing machine. I have not done anything like that that wasn't a straight line. This is, just following along with it. So this will be a true test to see how I do with that. And then let me go ahead and ask now my friends that are more experienced with sewing, what kind of setting is like the thread length and all that stuff for a top stitch? Tell me what I should set my sewing machine to. Remember, we got these vinyl windows here we need to be mindful of. Okay. All right, this is looking good. Okay, Star says about 3.5 to 4 millimeter. That's the stitch length. Okie dokie. I will look for that once I get back over to the machine. Okay, that's all ironed in place. We just got one more section. Okay. Okay, now I think I don't want to get it on my mat, so let me go ahead and cut this There we go. Now I can get that edge without it getting on my mat. Elizabeth said, for your top stitching, are you using a metallic to add more sparkle? Ooh, this is my type of snow. Looks beautiful and you don't have to shovel. I love that. That is a great idea, Elizabeth. I have the silver metallic thread. I used it for the quilting, so I think that would be a nice touch. Let's just hope that my only concern is, since this is the first time I'm doing this, isn't it a lot harder? Now, I've embroidered with metallic thread, but I haven't sewn with metallic thread. Am I causing myself more possible trouble by doing the top stitching with metallic thread? Someone tell me. All right, Kathy asks, when is the next sew along and where do I find the supply list? So our next project for sew alongs is going to be the quilting through the seasons. And I have not planned it yet or set a date for it yet. Quilting through the seasons was on sale at Kimberbell a few months ago, and that's when I bought it. I've had friends tell me sometimes it goes on sale at Fat Quarter Shop and my girlfriend's quilt shop. So you can check with them. But yeah, the project is quilting through the seasons. And I don't know if I'll be starting it in January or if I'm going to wait until February, March to start it. It all depends on my enthusiast course. So y'all got a little taste of enthusiast today. There are so many cool things that you can do with that program. And I am working on making a full online course teaching you how to use all those features. And the plan is, my goal right now is to release the course in February. Okay. Linda, is there a decorative stitch on the machine? I would use a ballpoint needle on that snow. Yes, I just put a brand new needle on my machine yesterday. It is a ballpoint. That's what I pretty much always use. There are tons of decorative stitches on my machine. I can do that. Do you think it's going to be hard to do the decorative stitch going along these curves with keeping things right? Maybe it won't be. Let's see. We're going to play. We're going to, whatever. It happens, it happens. It's going to be beautiful when it's done, no matter what. Okay, I think all of this is good. So now let me show you what we have. We have the snowdrift on the bottom. You'll see that. So that was just ironed on. If you're using fabric, it's definitely going to help you to put some heat and bond light on the back to keep it in place. Or you can pin it everywhere if you're like using the felt or the fleece as you go along to do that. Go ahead and do like the whole bottom stitch just to keep it there, and then do your decorative top stitch. All right. So when is the course for enthusiasts? I plan on releasing it in February. I like how you could still see it through the houses. Yeah, you kind of can still see it, the houses, through the bottom of the snow. You see it all. Okay, so on some scrap fabric, let's go try and do some decorative stitches with the glitter, the metallic, the silver metallic. Let me turn my iron off. And see how it looks and if I can do this with it. Let's see. I kind of want something thick. Oh, I had a bunch of strips from yesterday. This will be perfect to test it on. I'm making one of Abigail's friends a zipper makeup bag as a Christmas present. So I embroidered it and cut the panels. So I quilted the fabric. We did this in my VIP membership group. This was the August and September classes on how to do all of this. But I have these pieces that I cut off of there yesterday was still at the top of my trash can. So this will be perfect to test it on. All right. So I'm going to leave you here. And let's go to the machine and put it back on sewing mode. And when I do that, it moves this guy out of the way. And I'm thinking I'm still going to use, I'm going to use my Move It foot, but maybe do the Stitch in the Ditch one so I can use this kind of as a guide to see where I'm going. Okay, and since this is not exactly free motion, I still keep the feed dogs up, right? I don't want to let, do I want to let my feed dogs down? I don't know. So this machine has some really cool decorative stitches, and you can even make your own patterns and all kinds of stuff, but I'm pretty sure they got some that look like snowflakes. So we can start there. Okay, put my regular bobbin back in. And I got the metallic thread already on there because it was left over from the other thing. Okay, so decorative stitches. These are like little stars. Buttonholes. These are all kind of crazy ones. Oh, this one. Oh, you can't do this on dual feed. Okay. Can I do this one on dual feed? Yeah. Okay, so let me draw myself a line and see if I can follow it. Because that's the real test. Okay, so I had my blue water-soluble pen. I drew some waves on it. So let's see if I can do this. Okay. It does a lot of, oh no. It is not happy, is not happy. I'm thinking it's the metallic thread. It just kept going back and forth over the same spot. Okay. So let's just try a simple stitch. And stitch length. What's this say? That says straight stitch. That says basting stitch. Can't do that one. Okay, so anything grayed out I can't do with the dual feed foot. This is piecing stitch. So I just want to do, I guess, a straight stitch. And I just increase the stitch length to 3.5. All right, let's try that. Oh. Okay, the stitch in the ditch foot is not the right one to have. That's not helpful because I'm moving all over the place. It's not like helping me follow my line. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so not too shabby. But you can see where I followed along my blue line with the silver thread. So I think I can do that. That's what I'm gonna shoot for. It won't probably be perfect, but it'll be good enough, and it'll give it a little bit. It'll blend in probably really well with the white glitter, where if I do have a wonky line, it won't be super noticeable. But play around and see what works best for you. I'm definitely seeing this attachment is not the one I want. Probably just want the plain old normal attachment. That. Okay, let's see what y'all say. And yeah, slowing the speed down. Okay, so any pointers before I start? I think I feel okay now. All right, I'm going in. Wish me luck. Low and steady wins the race. Ah, okay. Getting a little further away from the top. I'm probably not stitching as close to the line as I should be. Let's try to get a little bit closer. There we go. Yeah, my line's gonna be wonky, but that's okay. I feel like I have a lot more control over this than I did my little strip, I guess, because it's covering all the feed dogs. That little strip, I was struggling to maneuver it. It's killing me to go this slow. I keep wanting to speed up, but I'm like, I know I probably shouldn't. One thing I just thought about, how does metallic thread hold up to heat? You probably definitely want to make sure your heat transfer vinyl is good and adhered to your project if you're going to use metallic thread, because I don't know if we can go and iron it after. I mean, I'm sure we can with the pressing cloth, but it's just something I thought about. This is painfully slow. Let's go a little bit faster and see if I can do this without Sometimes when I'm sewing, standing up, I accidentally hit my presser foot way too hard. And it goes, brrr. Trying not to do that. But I know I could just move my buttons. But I'm on a roll now, so I'm not messing with it. Get closer. Creak. Okay, turn more. Whew. All right, let's see how this looks. Not too shabby. Can y'all see the line? Not too shabby, I don't think. All right. So it does stand out a smidge because it's silver versus the white, but I think it complements the sparkle. I wasn't the best with having consistent spacing, but I think that's pretty darn good for my first try. I am definitely very pleased with it. So yay. So now our snowdrift is adhered and top stitched. Now I can go put my border. And you know what? I'll just go ahead and sew. I already have this one clipped. No, let me clip this one. Let me clip this one. I was like, let me just go sew this one and then come back and clip, but I will do it now. I love Linda says, if somebody looks that close, they need to go home. No one in my family would look that close, except maybe my mother-in-law, but she would tell me I did a good job. Let's see. Star says, I'm trying the Brothers 7x12 magnetic hoop that I got with the upgrade for my Stellaire. Ooh, that's nice. Boy, it sure is tricky getting the stabilizer smooth with all the magnets. There are 8 of them. Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, so it's like it's one of those frames that have all the magnets that you kind of click in place. I have not really played with one of those. I don't have any of the Brother magnetic hoops to have tried it, but I've tried other brands, and yeah, I could see what you mean. I think the trick maybe is to lay your stabilizer and do one magnet, the top and bottom, and then as you're holding the stabilizer and pulling it, do the other 2, and then pull this one, do 2, and then pull your stabilizer and do those 2. Okay, now I got both my borders clipped in place, right sides together. We're going to go sew along this side and this side with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then we'll be able to flip it over and press it. Okay, so let's get out of the metallic thread. We don't need that anymore. I need white. And I'm going to take this piece and put my 1/4 inch piece. That's all there. Okay. Okay, now I need to go back to my piecing stitch. Piecing with the locking stitch. Okay. And I should be sewing right on the inside. Remember that tack down stitch we had on the borders? I did it in white thread so you could see it. We should be sewing right on the inside of that stitch, so it's going to get hidden in the seam. I'm getting lost here. Okay. Okay. That looks like right. Let me check this because I think I wandered in a spot. And if it did, we would see that white stitching. Okay, now it looks good. All right, nope, I didn't wander enough to see any white stitching. So that's what that looks like. And now we do this side. Same thing. You can see why doing the snow drift was killing me because I want to stitch fast. I'm like, I'm ready to be done with this. I want this pillow to be finished. When it's a straight line, I can do this. And I got my guide foot and everything. Okay. So now we can go press this and pin our outer border into place. So here is it with the borders. Isn't that cute? Super cute. All right, and the tip I saw online was to press it so that the seam goes into the inner border. Something like this. So I don't know if that's better to just press it from the top then. Ooh, what about the metallic thread? That's on the border. Let me do that just to be safe. Oh, my iron's not on. That would help. And then where is my clapper? Let's see. Hey, Norma. Yay, Joanna. I'm so excited you have gotten started with your embroidery journey as well. So, does anyone know how metallic thread does with irons? Am I doing the right thing by being safe with this pressing sheet? Definitely rather be safe than sorry. Um, yes, you definitely should be excited. I agree with Linda. This is a big accomplishment. I'm excited. And this isn't my first project. It's my first bench pillow, though, that I'm finishing. Okay. I got that first inner border pressed. That looks good. Now, do this one. Yeah, Star, using a pressing cloth never hurts. Um, she says she thinks King Star metallics handle heat okay, but she's not sure about other brands. This silver one is Brother, so I would imagine it's decent as far as quality. Okay. Just working my way down. Gotta watch this final window here on this blue house. Okay, one more little section. Oh, I didn't know that, Linda. She said the inner lining of King Star is silk. Did not know that. Okay. That's pressed. Now, I guess let's go ahead and trim off the edges. Make it square. On both ends, and then now we can pin the outer border. Okay. Okay, so same procedure as before, but one thing, my outer border finished is like barely, it is the right size. Like there's really no wiggle room whatsoever. But if you wanted to, just to make sure, you can center your center block with your Christmas tree. And for me, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is my center. So if I wanted to, I could center the red with the Christmas tree and then push out. So that way the little bit that is being cut off, this green and this green, is the same. And so it won't look like you have a much bigger green block on one end than the other, all depending on what fabric you're using there. But that's something you can do. And one end of my outer border actually has, let me get this tape off of here. So when I did the last hooping of my border quilting, I only had like 10 and a half, 11 inches left I needed to quilt. So what I did was I opened the 12-inch long design and here's my tweezers, and let it just go off onto the stabilizer, and I taped the end of my fabric so that the presser foot wouldn't catch on it. So I just got to get tape off of here, which is kind of messing it up, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure this is all going to end up being in the final seam allowance on the side once we had the backing. But I didn't want any tape to stick out if it's not in there. Okay, that's good. All right, there's my first. And now let's get, oops, the bottom one. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my center. And I'm just going to kind of center it with the trunk of my tree. And go each way. And same thing, I got to get this tape. Okay. Hey, Trish. Let's see. I just looked up about the outside of Kingstar. It's polyester and resistant to rubbing and sunlight and shrinkage and discoloring. Nice. Joanna says, if I fold both sections in half and match up that way, that's how I do borders with regular quilts. There you go. All right, you watched the rest of Blaine's show, Trish? It was good. Okay. Oh no, you went to Costco. All right. Okay, so I got my top and bottom borders pinned. Now let's go do the same process of sewing them. Okay. I'm so excited to have this pillow done before my dad's family Christmas party, because then everybody's going to get to see it. I have to find a good place to put it because everybody's going to be sitting on the couch, so that won't be a good spot. Okay. That side is done. Looks good. Very nice. Very nice. I'll leave it folded though, because this is just wide enough to where it's not catching my embroidery arm. Thank goodness. But if I open it, it will catch. Oh, we gotta, almost forgot, we gotta open our presents from Missouri Star. All right. we got to press this. I wonder if we should press this to the inner border as well. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, good, y'all. Y'all watched Blaine too. Yeah, his new company, Stitch It International. Carly, your face showed up about next to last on the wheel spin on Blaine's show. Blaine said he was glad to see you there. Oh, good. Good. Okay. Here is the outer border. So, okay. Maybe, I guess it doesn't matter. Which way would y'all press this? Should I press it up just like this one? Or should I try to press it in? I think I'll do up. Yeah, I think that's going to be the easiest thing. But let me know how you would press that, just so I can get a feel. I like to know how other people do stuff. Or if you got like a way you determine, or it's just all random. Oh, iron went off again. There we go. I do like I have auto shut off, because I definitely need that. Feels like it's still super hot though. Yeah. Let's see, Karen, hi. I know you probably said this before, but I'm thinking about getting just an embroidery machine to do projects like this. I was looking at the Brother Innovis NQ1700E. That's a great machine, and you will be able to do every Kimberbell project with that. So that machine is a 6x10 hoop, is the largest embroidery field. Now the machine I'm using is bigger. It's a Brother Stellaire, and they came out with a new version of the Stellaire, so it's called Stellaire 2. And it has a max embroidery field of 9.5 by 14. And they have two options. They have a sewing only, and they have they have embroidery only, and then a sewing embroidery combo machine. So I'm using the sewing embroidery combo. So the model on that one is the XJ2 Stellaire. I love my machine. I personally think that's the best machine for Kimberbell projects, but it is very pricey. So depending on your budget, the NQ1700 is a great option. And it cuts jump stitches, 6x10 embroidery field. You'll be able to do all Kimberbell projects on there. The only couple, like we did this whole pillow using a 6x10 hoop, with the exception of a cheated when I started doing the borders, and I used a bigger hoop on the outer border. They're like for the big quilts, Kimberbell quilt projects. There are some blocks that are like 8x12, but they always give a split design option for those. So according to Kimberbell, almost all their projects can be done in as little as a 5x7 hoop. But I could tell you, it is not fun to have to split all the designs, or have to do clear blue tiles on background quilting on all the blocks. So I would definitely get at least a 6x10. Oh, Elsa said she would press it open. Okay, that's a good idea too. Press where there's the least resistance. Yeah, the fabric will usually let you know. Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like it was easiest to press towards the outer border. I was just feeling it. Okay. Oh, Patricia, you won something on Blaine's show? Did you win the I'm a Crazy Sewing Lady vest? Because I would still wear that. Let's see. Yay, you won something from Angela Wolf? Ooh, if you won her sewing club, that would be really cool. Okay, Karen's like, I would just get embroidery only. I have sewing machines. Yeah. Then you would get, if you want it as big as mine, the Stellaire 2, and the model number is XE as an elephant 2. That's the embroidery only. So E for embroidery. There you go. The XJ is the combo. That is by far the nicest. But it, without getting up into the Luminaire and Avenir, those guys are humongous. But super nice. And then Baby Lock makes the same kind of machines. The only difference is the brother's going to come with some Disney designs. If you're a Disney fan, there are some built-in Disney designs on the brother. But you can't edit them. You can't resize them. You can't take them off your machine and open them in Brilliance. You just got to stitch it how it is. That's the only thing with those Disney designs. And you can't sell anything that you stitched on. So if you make something cute and want to sell it, technically you're not supposed to. It's just for personal use. Yeah, Star has the XE2. It's a great machine. And for me, I have some other sewing machines, but the only one, technically I have, I guess, 2 other sewing machines. One is an old brother. It was my first one I got a few years ago, besides my very first Kim Moore sewing machine that I got like when I was in 4th grade. That does not work. I got a brother CS6000i. I think they have a 7000i now. That is a great sewing machine. It has like 60 different stitches. It even came with a walking foot. But it's picked up in my closet, so I don't have it out. And then I have my Juki, which is right behind me, that I have accessible. That I just, whenever I have to sew a straight something real quick, I just use my Juki. And then I have the Stellaire. So I use the Stellaire a lot for sewing. Like all these projects, I use the Stellaire. I haven't gotten super comfortable with the Juki yet as far as piecing goes, because I don't have a 1/4-inch foot for it. I just have mainly the feet that came with it. I feel like I need a 1/4-inch foot or like a compensating foot to really make sure I'm being accurate in my piecing and sewing. So I still kind of use the Stellaire the most. Patricia says she's not sure what she wants. You have to go back, rewatch and show. So I know the 2 things Angela gave away. I don't know if she was giving away the clapper or not. I think what she was giving away was a year membership to her fashion sewing club, and her stitching with knits class. And that class go over sewing knits and using a serger with knits. Yeah, so a lot of people have the Stellaire in here, I see. And Patricia has a Luminaire, and it's her favorite. The Luminaire is super fancy. It has a camera system and a projection system, all kinds of stuff. Lots of bells and whistles. Okay, guys, let's have a look. Dun, dun, dun. Can we get the whole thing in there? Right there. How does that look? I'm so excited. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, so we are done. This thing is humongous. We're done with the top of the pillow. So now I think is when we should put the embellishments on. So what time is it? It's almost 1. I have time. Let me drink some water. Let's get started with the embellishments, and then we'll do the rest for homework. And we need to open presents, and okay, let's take a break for a second. So tomorrow we'll finish this pillow, whatever that may be, adding the back to it, finishing embellishments. It's finishing tomorrow. That's Thursday, December 18th. Today's the 17th. Yes, 18th. Then Friday, the 19th, we're having our December sip and stitch. And we're using the Brother NQ 1700E. I think it was Karen was asking about it. We're using that machine so you can see it. And we are making monogram towel Christmas presents. So these are some towels I made the other night playing with different monograms I had. This is one from Schuler Studio, and I did a knockdown stitch with it. And then this is Sonia Showalter, something like that. This is her English Ivory monogram. And then I have some like designs by Juju ones. So we're going to be going over how to float and stitch a towel. Super easy, great beginner first project. Great Christmas presents. And then we'll play around in Brilliance, and I'll show you how to do a knockdown stitch. So I wanted to show you that. And I think for the embellishments, it's mainly just sewing buttons and bows and lights. So buttons, bows, and lights. Well, let's do live. Let me show you. So one thing I saw, Chris, so I am not good at hand sewing whatsoever. So this is going to be a challenge for me. We even have to find a needle with thread. Okay. So I was watching Kristen create. She did a sew along for this pillow like 4 years ago when it came out. I'm a little late to the game. But red thread. One trick I learned that she did that I liked for the bows was thread a needle with some red thread. Oh, Ozzy found his way upstairs. Go in. Okay. Oh, I knocked it out. See, I can't even thread the needle, much less sew with hand sew something. Okay, got it. I'm gonna thread my needle, tie a knot. I always feel like one knot is not enough, so then I try to do 2 knots, but I never can get the second knot to go like right on top the first knot, so then the knot's really not bigger. Oh, wait, I got that one. Okay, let's go to, where is my mouse? All right. So the places where there are bows is in the middle of the wreath, the top of the tree, and the middle of that wreath. Is that right? Let's look at the picture. Yes, 3 bows. The 2 in the lamp posts are the little skinny red ribbon. And the one on top of the tree is the thicker red velvet ribbon. And that's if you have the kit. Not, you just use whatever ribbon you have at home. You can go grab at Hobby Lobby. So we have the ribbons. Let's do this one first since we just have the one with it. So what she suggested is poke a hole going from the back. Come up to the front. I think make a loop. Yeah, so like go up and then go right back in. But don't pull it all the way through. So I kind of have like a red loop. Right? And need my loop to not be twisted. Okay, there we go. So red loop that wants to twist. It's fine. And put my ribbon through it. I guess in this case I'll go right in the middle. And then I guess pull it through to hold it in place. And now tie your bow. I don't know if I should do like the 2 loops and then something like this. Okay. Pull that back. Yay, that's there. And then you can go back through there we go. And then go through again. And then she even went like right in the middle of the bow. To hold it in place. So that's like that. And then we can trim this after. So that's how I'll do my other 2 bows later. I'm not very good at tying off in the back either, but fine. Okay, so there's my bow. And I'm going to cut it at an angle. I wish I could make this one flip. There we go. There we go. Just make it match. And then you might even want to hit it with a lighter to sear the edges. Okay. Yay. So that bow's there. It's not going anywhere. And I didn't hot glue it. Yay for me. All right, and then you're going to do the same thing with ribbon right in the middle of the wreath for each lamppost. So that's going to be homework. I'm going to put that on the side. Next is the buttons, and really it's just looking at the picture. You can put the buttons wherever you want, or you can follow their example and put the buttons on the pillow like the picture. Okay, and then the fairy lights, we need these. Those are 2. Yes. Okay, so yeah, just sew the buttons in their spot according to the example picture, or by all means put them wherever you want. And let's talk about the fairy lights, because this is new to me, and I thought it was cool what Kristen did. So first, I think it's probably smarter to sew the buttons on and do the fairy lights. Do your bows, do your buttons, do the fairy lights last, because some of this might get in the way of your buttons if you put the lights in. I would imagine could happen. Okay, there are just enough lights to go in every hole. You're not going to have any leftover lights. And they are on this like metal bendable wire. And what I think will be best is to start from one lamppost. Let's see. Start here and then work your way here into the tree until you run out of lights, and then go from the other end, same thing. So, and then with the controller, going to the outside. So let's see, do they work? Yeah, first check and make sure they work. They do not work. So that probably means they need a new battery. Or do they have a piece a little paper piece I need to pull? Yellow. You know how sometimes when you get things, they have the little tab you have to pull out. It's keeping the batteries from being connected. And these are flat CR2032 batteries. Okay. Now it's on. Yay! Now we have lights. They work. And so I think I'm going to start closest to the battery pack. And this is my first light. And I'm basically just going to shove it through the first little eyelet hole right here. And might even need my tweezers. No. So yeah, bend it. And then they'll kind of like flatten it out, poke it through, and then make it to where the light is just poking out and not the wire with it. So do y'all see that? Like this is where it went in, it goes in, and then it comes right back out again. And then there's the battery pack. So this is the next light. I'll bend it, poke it through. And then make it to where it's not straight anymore and like flatten it out. and then pull it back so it won't like go back through the eyelet hole. And then what Kristen did was once she had all of her fairy lights in place, she literally took duct tape and duct taped all the wire down to the back of the pillow so that the wire wasn't getting moved. Your fairy lights don't accidentally pop out of the front. So look, now you see. Now I have lights just in my lampposts. But that way, these won't go back inside the pillow on accident, especially like when you're putting your pillow form in, it doesn't rub all over this. So I thought that was a great idea. So she also said some of them was like a stretch to get them to go to the next spot. So just take your time and work. So like from here to this one, it's not gonna go. So I see what she means. Like I can't make this one go from here to here. Maybe I'll do this instead and then work my way around. So I could easily go from here. And then now maybe I'll go to the bottom and work my way back. Ozzy, I hear you, buddy. I'm almost done. So you'll see how all of this can be, get in the way. And so that's what she did. Once she had all the lights in, she took duct tape and taped all of that down. So then they weren't moving. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna finish the hot cocoa stand and then I'm gonna stop because I do want to go put my buttons in before I finish all the lights because the wires might be in the way of the buttons. Okay, so that's the last one for the cocoa stand. And then what's going to happen is it's going to stretch from here to the first light of the house. And yeah, that's a stretch. Like that barely gets it. Okay. So yeah, like that just gets it from the cocoa stand to there. But let's look at it from the front. Yay. So you can see the lampposts. We got the string of lights on the coffee stand. That's cute. And then the house, and then it will go on from there. All right, let me go. Let's see. Let me go grab, hi, Ozzy. What do you need? Because I know you're not going to come in my craft room. Where's my box? Okay, what's today? Today is the 17th. So I need 16 and 17 for presents. 16, 17. Found it. All right. Let's see. I hear some comments about duct tape and being nervous about that. Okay, let's see. Oh, Patricia says my fairy lights from Kimberbell never last. So I see your concern with if we duct tape it, it's we might not be able to get it off. Kristen said to start from the outside and work towards the middle. Yeah, so that's what I did. I started at the lamppost and worked towards the tree. Thank you, Star. Yes, having little girls help. Okay, so Joanne's saying she'd probably use paper tape. That's a good idea. Duct tape will never come off. So if you want to take off your lights, yes. Okay, I definitely see your concern, and now you have me reconsidering, and maybe I will use just my Kimberbell paper tape. But I think taping it will definitely help things from, if this gets, well, like this one already popped in. If any, this is going to get touched. I know in my house it definitely will. So I do want to have something behind the lights to help it stay in place. But y'all raise a great concern about if I ever did need to, like if the lights go out and I need new lights. Because I mean, it should be where you just change the battery, right? But what if the lights stop working altogether? Now I can't even get this guy back in here. Okay. There we go. So yeah, paper tape might be a better option in case we ever did need to remove it. All right. So Missouri Star Quote Company Christmas box I've been working on. This is yesterday's present. Let's look and see what we got. Ooh, okay. We got another snap bracelet. Ooh, I think I'm going to like this. Yay. Pin magnet. And this is a bracelet that's probably magnet too, huh? Let's see, how does this work? Because I was telling you, I got a needle minder, but I have no place to put the needle minder because it won't stick on my machine. So one option was to like put it on my shirt, the two magnets. But this is a slap bracelet. And it's got a little tray. So along with me, the best is yet to be, like that. And I'm guessing, is this magnetic? Let's see. Yep, that's magnetic. So there's my pins. And then this is a great solution because my machine is not metal and I can't put a needle minder on it. This has a suction cup. And now I can have it on my machine and it grab my pins. Or for me, better scenario is it holds my scissors so I don't lose them. Yay! All right. So I love this present. This is a good one. So we got kind of different version of needle minders. Love it. So that was yesterday's. Let's see what today is. Maybe it's pens. Oh, speaking of fairy lights, this is adorable. This is Missouri Star fairy lights. So instead of them just having the little bulb on the end, they have little quilt blocks. Can y'all see that? That is so cute. Okay, we got to turn them on. Oh, I can put this on my pegboard. I like it. Okay, let me not get them twisted. And oh, we need batteries. Double A, 2 of them. I think I have one. Let me go find another. Need to refill my room anyway, because my batteries on my microphone love to go out on a regular basis. Here we go. I like that these take regular batteries and not the flat kind, because I'm more likely to have them. Okay. Yay! These are so cute. So what I'm thinking is I can have them kind of here all the time. Yeah, but actually pin them or have a clip so that they stay. And then I could just leave my little battery pack here and turn them on and off as needed. But isn't that cute? Love it. And they're little quilt blocks. Let's see if my computer camera will show you better. Okay, so let's turn it off. But do y'all see how they're little stars? Isn't that cute? I love it. 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 Yay. Very cute. Very excited. All right. Gotta clean up my mess. And so our homework tonight, because we're finishing this tomorrow, hand sew on all the little buttons, which shouldn't kill me. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 little buttons. Or if you found replacements, remember we went over all the cute places where they had buttons, Amazon, and then there was a shop someone recommended, but I put it on the homepage for the supplies, where you could do replacement buttons, or you don't even need buttons if you can't find them or you just don't have the time. It's beautiful without buttons. But I got to hand sew these buttons on. I got to finish those 2 other bows. And then I'll finish the fairy lights, and I'll probably do like Joanna suggested and just use my paper tape to hold it in place. And then tomorrow we will finish sewing it together. Yay! I'm so excited. All right, so that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'm going to go eat some lunch and finish watching Blaine's show that I only caught the beginning of earlier. And I will be back tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. We will finish this. And then I'll also be back on Friday, and I'll use my NQ 1700 and show y'all all kind of pretty ways we can make monogram towels. And Trish, I got a big old pack of towels from Costco. That's where I got like 18 of them. Everybody's getting a towel. So that's it for today. I will hopefully see y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye, everyone.